Hi again, it's Meli Rentas, licensed counselor, coming back to answer some more of your questions about motherhood, mental health, and doing so from a Christian perspective. So today's question is, how can I overcome crippling anxiety that is causing nausea and weight loss? So first and foremost, the number one thing I would suggest is to make sure you see a medical doctor first. The reason for that is because you want to really do a thorough test and see what could be going on physically that might be generating this issue with intense nausea and anxiety that's causing weight loss. You know, those are some pretty severe symptoms. So it would be good to check your thyroid, check your hormones, and whatever else your doctor suggests to take a look and see what's going on internally. That might give you some clues as to, maybe there's something more to it than just a mental health thing. It could be physical health. Now, again, mental health is physical health, as you can experience already. Both go hand in hand. And actually, whenever I do work with a new client, especially working with women, I always encourage that they make sure that they see their doctor to get their annual checkup and do a workup of their thyroid. And if, depending on their age, also sex hormones to see what's going on physiologically. Second to that, I would encourage you to take a look at your nutrition. Are you nourishing your body with nutritious foods, or could it be that you're consuming something that is causing the nausea? So for example, oftentimes people with high anxiety, if they consume too much caffeine, it's already, it's been shown time and time again that caffeine can very much aggravate anxiety and just make it substantially worse. So you want to take a look at how much caffeine you're taking in. If you're having coffee first thing in the morning and not having any food up until lunch, then that might be the culprit right there, possibly. So something to discuss with your doctor again. Some things that I have found helpful with nausea when I was pregnant, and especially, I was going to say, and other times, but I don't get nauseous too much unless I have too much caffeine. So is ginger little candies. Those tend to help, as well as ginger tea or peppermint tea. That's probably a little healthier so you don't have the sugar of the candies. I think also chamomile tea can be helpful for nausea, and making sure you have enough electrolytes too. Especially if you're vomiting, obviously you're going to be depleted. So you're going to need to consider some electrolytes. I've been taking Redmond's. I really love their electrolytes. I'm the kind of person that I used to always be insanely thirsty all the time. And I even had trouble breastfeeding, and hindsight being 2020, my kids are 6 and 8 now. I think a big part of it was not having enough electrolytes. And I did not like coconut water, and I didn't know about, maybe back then they didn't have those electrolyte packets that they sell now. So anyway, few sort of practical tips to consider there. The next one is making sure you're getting enough rest and relaxation. So if you're not sleeping enough, you want to prioritize getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And relaxation in terms of your breathing can be really helpful when you're experiencing very high anxiety. There's something called box breathing. I've mentioned it in a few videos before, but I'll give you just a quick rundown for this specific technique. You do 4 things, and each one of those things you do for 4 seconds. And if you're a visual person like me, you may also want to visualize a box. That might help, kind of guide your thinking away from anxiety for that brief moment in time. So you take a deep breath in for 4 seconds, then you hold it for 4 seconds. You take a slow breath out for 4 seconds, hold it again for 4 seconds, and you continue that until you start to feel your anxiety subside to about half, if not more so. And oftentimes, for most people with anxiety, when they're having anxiety or panic attacks, it only lasts about 90 seconds. It'll peak and then it'll come back down. So it's important to, what I say is, ride the wave. Like, you know that it's going to peak, but at the same time, you also know, thank God, that it will calm down and eventually go away as well. So something else that will hopefully be helpful. And then the last two things, and we're done, is, which this probably should have been number one, but is to pray. You know, pray and ask God through the power of the Holy Spirit to give you wisdom about what could possibly be going on in your body. I've had people share with me incredible stories. I guess maybe I'll share one. I had one person tell me once that she was having these really weird physical symptoms. I think it was that she was having, what do you say, olfactory hallucinations. So she would just smell like things were burning all the time. And this was a woman of faith too, and a lot of people in her faith circle were telling her that it was a demonic attack, which, you know, no offense or anything like that. There are times where obviously things can be very spiritual, but she just prayed and sought God and asked for wisdom, and, you know, God prompted her to go to the doctor, which is great, and find out. And long story short, she had a tumor in the area of the brain that affects smell. And so, you know, she had to deal with that in that way. So it's really important to seek wisdom from the Holy Spirit, to pray, and to see your medical doctor. So I hope you found that helpful. And remember, again, this is not professional advice. This is not counseling or psychotherapy. These videos are for educational and informational purposes only, but I hope and pray that it will help you find some guidance in managing anxious seasons. And if you have a question you'd like me to answer in a future video, just leave it in the comments and I will get to it super soon.